this is Dwayne at RealFixesRealFast.com. We're going to bring you a video today about a timing belt repair, but we're not going to make the video on a complete timing belt replacement. However, we're just going to warn you about something you need to be on the lookout for. We've got a 98 Ford Escort ZX2 2.0 dual overhead cam engine. The timing belt is bad. This car was actually running. It would start and drive, but then it would stall. I'm not even sure how it was running with a timing belt like that. We've done a lot of timing belts around here, and usually they're pretty simple, pretty cut and dry. But this one was a little confusing, and that's why we want to bring it to you. Now, I'm not doing a complete timing belt replacement video because really you need a particular skill level to do this repair. It's not something that a do-it-yourselfer or even a first entry-level technician really ought to try. This is more for the experienced guy. Now, of course, when you do a timing belt, you should look at the repair manual so you have a good idea of what you're getting into and what to look for. Now, here's the engine arrangement, timing belt arrangement on the car that we have, the 2.0. It's actually a VIN 3 98. And here's how the timing belt is. So we're expecting to see the timing belt tensioner, the idler pulley, the lower idler pulley. So let's go look at the car. Now here's the thing I want to point out. We took the timing belt covers off and took the timing belt off and went to reinstall the parts, and we noticed that there was no pulley in here. You see the hole with the threads in it where a pulley is supposed to go, and on the timing cover you can actually see an indentation where it's supposed to go, but there was actually no pulley there. That's the point that I want to make. If you get one of these in and you take it apart and you see that you're actually missing this pulley, here's why. Now here's that pulley I was talking about. It should be there, and it's not there. It's just physically gone. Now I actually was a little bit lost on this at first, trying to think, now what's going on? How can the pulley be missing? Or where did it go? And so forth. Looking at that timing belt, I knew the teeth were chewed up. So I actually called Gates. We get most of our timing belts through Gates. So I called the Gates tech line and talked to some people there, and they were very helpful. At first they said, well, just simply follow the instructions, but then they thought about it and called me back and said, no, wait a minute, we do need to look for something here. Now if you look up the parts, it calls for the timing belt kit 294, and this is the diagram that comes out with it. And notice it's for a 98, and it's got a place for that upper idler pulley and the lower idler pulley, plus your tensioner and the belt arrangement. And that's what we thought we had. But when I talked to that tech line, they told me that there is a deviation from this, and we must have one of the ones that's different. Now if you're like me, it gets pretty frustrating sometimes when you look at the repair manuals that we have and they just list one option and don't tell you about any of these deviations. So sometimes it's good when you run into something that's not right to talk to some of the tech lines and get some information. After talking with them, they actually told me that there is a difference. That there are some of these out there that are like this. If you notice, there's the upper idler, but there is no idler, no lower idler. Again, let's go back and look at this one. There's the upper idler and the lower idler. But on this one, there's the upper and there is no lower. It's actually the same belt. Now this one comes with a different kit. It's the TCK 294B. So if you're like us, we order out the parts by application. Everything's real specific. We think we get the right parts. When this comes out, of course it comes with the belt, it comes with the tensioner, it comes with the upper idler pulley and the lower idler pulley. But remember, on our engine there was no lower idler pulley. But on the TCK 294B, in that kit, you get your belt, you get your tensioner, and you get the upper idler pulley. There is no lower idler pulley in this kit. And if you look at the difference between the upper idler pulleys between the two kits, there's a big difference. So the warning really here is just pay attention and use your common sense. Yes, we all order parts by application, and most of the time they're right. But if you go to put something together and something's just not making sense, the parts don't match up, stop and ask for help. You might find something just like this. Now there was nothing in writing anywhere that we could find. No TSB, no bulletin, no notation, no footnote, anything telling us about this. If it weren't for the guy at the tech line at Gates, we might still be stumbling trying to figure this out. So most of the time we order parts by application, and most of the time they come out correctly. But if you get a situation where the parts are not right, something's not lining up, not the right size, not the right bolts, something like that, stop what you're doing, ask for help. There's lots of help sources out there. In this case, we called Gates. Talked to their technical service department, and they were able to point us right to the problem, get the right parts, put it back together the right way.